Now, after that happened, you started going harder with the rap.
Yeah, after that happened, I still wasn't even rapping. A year, like when it was a year's anniversary of my brother's death, I started rapping.
Okay, and were you TaySav back then or no?
Nah, I was just Tay. I used to make beats. My name TayDaProducer, but Tay, that's what a lot of people call me. But I got the name
Okay.
TaySav from my homie Lil Sean. He locked up right now. You know, he used to call me Tay Savage, and I just shortened it out because that I feel like Tay Savage, that's associated with a lot of, you know, there's a lot of people named that. That's not, you know, I'm just me. You feel me?
Okay. So once you came out as TaySav and started putting music out, like what was the reaction initially?
A lot of people was just like, man, that's Pappy reincarnated. They was like, you know, real happy and real excited about what else I was gonna put out, and you know, they received it real well.
What do you think was sort of the first song that really started to get you noticed?
The first song I dropped, Letter to Pappy, you know, they was really, you know, that was how I was feeling, you know, and I dropped it on the day that he died a year later, so you know, I already had that plan, like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do when I decided that I was gonna start to rap, you know, Letter to him, before I even get any further with the rapping, you know, I gotta pay recognition to him first. So they received that real well. That was the first song that really did it for me, and let them know that he really could rap, you know. So after that, I just started putting out more and more. But I got cut short because I had got locked up in August. You know, I had really just started rapping in May. I got locked up August 1st, 2nd. So, you know, it got cut short, but I bonded out, got right back to it, and they still, you know, now it's picking up more and more and more exposure, you know, almost at 1 million views on a few videos.
So what did you get locked up for this last time?
A gun.
So you bonded out, and is that case still going on?
Yeah, that's still going on, but I should be beating it soon. I just, you know, they do whatever they can to get a conviction out of you, so I just got to keep fighting.
Okay, so you're TaySav and you're also TayDaProducer.
Right.
Which of that do you actually enjoy more? Do you enjoy the production side more or the rapping side more?
I mean, I enjoy the production side more because it's way more smoother to just put something together like that, but it just take more time than rapping, you know? It's easier to rap than it is to be a producer.
But it seems like the rapping is getting you more notoriety.
Yeah, I say that because, you know, you put a voice behind the name, and that's what they want to hear, you know? They want to hear your story too. They don't want to just, oh, he made this beat, that's cool and all, but what he about? Like, who is he? Like, so that's what they really wanted.
I mean, when you talk about rappers in the North Side, like, outside of you and your brothers, like, what other artists came out of the North Side?
Man, we got a few with us. PBG Chemo, you know, Bang the Hitter. He really was the first one to actually blow us up. He dropped this one track, dumb as hell, went on the news. But yeah, him, my homie Savage Shane, PBG Chemo, we got a few with us, just TFG the gang, you know. That's really it. Everybody else, that shit horrible. I wouldn't even lie to you, like, you know, I wouldn't even lie to you, bro. I'm not a hater. This shit's horrible.
I mean, when you talk about Chicago and you talk about the street politics and the gang politics and stuff like that, do you feel coming out of the North Side, is it harder to work with other artists or is it easier to work with other artists in Chicago?
I say it's both because, you know, it's some people feel certain ways like, man, them niggas up north sweet as hell, they not on shit, woo woo, you know, but they don't know because they never dealt with nobody like us or came on our side of town and rocked out with us, you know, but some people will be like, you know, they not from where we from, so we don't have a problem with them, you feel me? And that's how I am, like, people don't, if you're not from where I'm from or into what I'm into on my side of town, you know, whatever you into don't have anything to do with me, you know, I'm just making music, you know, speaking my life, you know.
So, I mean, I know you've worked with Montana 300.
Yeah.
Like, what are the other Chicago artists that you've worked with?
I worked with Montana 300, Tay 600, FBG Duck, you know, El Gato, and that's really it so far from Chicago that I really did anything with besides the people outside of my circle.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've interviewed Tay 600.
Right.
And, you know, the one thing, you know, I interviewed Tay 600, I also interviewed 600 Breezy, and I interviewed E-Day.
Right.
And then, I mean, have you seen all these interviews?
Yeah.
When you look at all these collection of interviews that I did, and the various things that got brought up, and, you know, there was the whole snitching allegations with Tay,
Right.
and then there was the stuff that I brought up in the interviews. What's your take on the whole thing?
Man, this all I'm gonna say. Rondo said he didn't snitch, so he didn't snitch. Period. Like, there's no paperwork. He didn't snitch. That's how I see it.
Well, the interview I did with E-Day I thought was really interesting because, you know, because you know, that crew accused Tay of snitching, right?
Right.
But when I did the interview, the one thing that I brought up was that, let's just say that me and you are in court, you know, you're charged with something, I'm a witness. If I go and do a written statement about I saw E-Day do this, that, and the third, and I sign a piece of paperwork, when the trial comes up, your lawyers have the legal right to cross-examine me.
Right.
Right?
Right, because you got
Like,
to face. You got the right
there's
to
no
face
such
your
thing
accused.
as doing a secret written statement against someone with no cross-examination.
Right, but also this what can happen too. You can write a statement, and then when it's time to take the stand, you can say, "I refuse to take the stand." They could charge you for contempt of court, which is what he was charged for. He was charged for contempt of court. When they caught him on his charges when he caught that gun case, if you look it up, he been charged for contempt of court. Matter of fact, they wanted him to come. I guess he skipped town or whatever the fuck he did. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know what he did because I ain't in tune with him or nothing. You know what I'm saying? They caught him somewhere. They caught him with a gun. You know what I'm saying? They wanted him to take the stand. He didn't take the stand. They charged him with contempt of court, which they charged him with. You know what I'm saying? You could sign a statement. You don't have to take the stand. I mean, he could take the stand and be like, and not say shit or not cooperate. That's gonna hurt the state. Our lawyers could eat him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga, he's not even cooperating with y'all. He's not even saying what he was saying back then. You know what I'm saying? So it was no point. Once he said he wasn't taking a stand, they charged him with contempt of court, which he was actually charged with.
Okay, but if he did a statement against Rondo, but he refused to take the stand,
It don't
So-
matter
so-
if it
so
wasn't
the-
used in the trial. It's the point that he made the statement. It don't matter
Okay.
if it wasn't
Oh,
used. It's the
okay,
point
no, I
that-
mean, I'm not. I can't debate that part.
I mean,
But
it was
what I
other
can-
witnesses too. It was other witnesses. I mean, the other witnesses, they didn't really direct or say any names. His statement was the only statement that really said a name. They statements was like more like, I seen, he did this. I heard this. I really didn't see nothing, but I heard this. You know what I'm saying? And
So when you look at that situation, what do you think?
Man, I just know my best friend, his brother, and one of his friends got locked up for a murder, you know, and my best friend brother got out, you know, like the same situation with Rondo and Tay or whatever. And they was trying to say that he snitched, you know, and he got locked up when their trial came for contempt of court and everything, just like him. But what happened different was his friend beat the murder, you know, and cleared everybody's name. Like, no, he ain't snitch on me, you know. So I just don't believe it. I can't see no public paperwork. And Rondo himself said it in the jail, in phone freestyle, whatever. But I was listening. He said it. He didn't do it. So, you know, it ain't no reason to even try to say it no more.
Yeah, I mean, where you come from, what happens when someone gets a snitch tag?
Man, everybody know what happened to snitches. It's not tolerated nowhere. Nobody likes a snitch. Like, what is you snitching for? You know, so something gonna happen to him.
I'm glad that at least I was able to bring up certain things that couldn't really be argued. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that whole situation, I'm glad that I was able to bring certain things to light that I felt was able to clear Tay's name to a certain degree. You know, people are still going to say what they're going to say. You're going to have fans of certain people that don't matter what gets said. But I think that I brought out certain facts that kind of shed light to the whole situation.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it seemed like everyone in Chicago knew about it afterwards.
Yeah, I seen. That's what I had. I had went on my Twitter one day and I had seen all the somebody was just retweeting everything from the interview with you and Ida or whatever, and I'm just looking and they was just like, man, he wasn't saying nothing. He was just up there looking dumb, woo woo. So I went and watched it myself and I'm like, damn. Then I watched the interview with Tay, and you know, but I already had it in my head like, you know, ain't no paperwork, so how can he tell, you know? That's all, you know, like, how can you even, I don't know, like, I thought if you was involved with a murder and you tell on somebody, you supposed to go to jail too, still. Like, even if you tell, you just get the lesser time.
Yeah, and Ide admitted in our interview that
the paperwork that he trying to use to say this the paperwork everybody's seeing, that's not the paperwork. That's actually some paperwork that a fan made on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
So that paperwork, so you even admit that paperwork is fake.
Yeah, that paperwork that's on the internet that's going around, that's fake paperwork.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that's fake. You know, someone walking around and having this type of snitch tag on them that didn't seem like it was completely true. Like, I felt it that I should at least explore it a little bit. You know what I mean? And do some investigative journalism around it. And, you know, it seemed like it did something.